So welcome to the afternoon session of first day program. So let us get started once again. I request Dr. Vishnu to take over the session. Vishnu, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. We are continuing with our understanding basics in Python. So there is actually a question now that to explain the order in which b comma a equal to a comma b percentage is computed. So what I said at the beginning is this. So the meaning of ba equal to, okay, I will remove that hash, ba equal to a b percentage a. So the computation will happen the following way. So initially, the value of b will be stored into some temporary location. That's happening inside. We don't have to worry about that. Python will take care of it. It must be happening like that. That's what I'm saying. So b value is now stored into a variable called temp variable. Okay. Now b will be assigned. Remember that from whatever is writing on the right side will be taken as the variable value, and whatever is written on the left side will be taken as the variable location to where that value will be stored. Okay, if you are writing b on the right side, value of b only will be taken to temp, not the variable b itself. Okay, variable and its value, they are different things. Variable denotes a location in the memory of the computer. Its value means the content inside that location. Okay, when you are writing variable on the right side, the content will be passed to the left side. Left side variable is location. That's what's happening. In the next step, b will be assigned the value of a. So value of a will be passed to b. Now, value of b is stored in temp. Okay, the previous old value of b is stored in temp. Now a need to be modified. How do we modify a? The old value of b, which is in temp, percentage, the present value of it, not that. Execution will take place from right to left. A right value will be calculated and will be assigned to the left variable. So the previous value of a will be used for computing temp percentage a, which is the modulus operation, remainder operation. Remainder will be stored to a. Now, value of b became the previous value of a. Value of a became the previous value of b, percentage, previous value of a. Okay, this is the computation. I hope that this is clear. Okay, I will copy paste that also into now this is not a program code, but this is just what do you call it? A line of explanations. No need to copy paste to the browser. It won't work. Okay. It will definitely work, but if it's a part of the code. So computation order, I have given something and I have updated this Google Sheet with that. Okay. Now whatever I am going to type will be given below day 1, session 2. Type. Okay. Now in the next program, we are going to start a new file. In the next program, I would like to introduce something known as the concept, one of the most important concepts in Python programming called list. See, we can define variable names like a, b, temp, c, d, etc. But it may be necessary sometimes to define multiple variables at a time simultaneously. This concept is known as array in almost all the programming languages, and in computer science, this programming kind of literature, the word is known as that particular concept is known as array of objects. By array of objects, usually many of the programming languages will mean array of objects of the same type. Same type in the sense you are permitted to keep variables of the type integers as one array, real numbers or float variables as another array, strings as another array. That is the convention followed by some programming languages. But Python, it's not like that. Python, the concept of array is usually called with the name list, L-I-S-T, list. So a list is nothing but it's a collection of objects, or values which is stored inside, written inside 2 square brackets separated by commas. Okay, separated by commas. That's it. We will show a program in which we will demonstrate some of the features of the list. Okay, list itself is the keyword in Python. It's a defined and the third word in Python. We cannot use that just like that. So instead of that, I am writing the name my list. I'm simply putting some numbers there. 110. Sorry, it has to be in call 1, 10, minus 5, 23 or 24, 13.2, etc. Anything. I'm putting something with the name my list here. Now I'm asking to print this my list. The result will be okay. List example. This is the program name I'm giving. List example. So if I am asking to print my list, what will happen is you can see that on the right side 1, 10, minus 5, 24, 1 is printed exactly like that. But instead that now I am asking to print my list in square bracket. Remember square bracket. My list 0 and the print is again 1, 10, minus 5, etc., which is the original list. Together with that, the value 1 is printed. Remember that in programming, counting starts with the number 0. Counting is usually taken 0, 1, 2, 3, etc., not 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., starting from 0. Therefore, my list 0 in square bracket, again, not in ordinary bracket. Ordinary bracket means that it's a function. Ordinary bracket means that it's a function like print. You will see more functions after this. So my list 0 means the 0th element in this my list. So if my list 1, if I print, it will be printed as 10. Okay. So this is how we access the elements. And what is the last element then? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. My list 4 will be the last element. Okay, I'm copying and pasting. List example. I'm giving the name as list example.py. Colab using people need not keep any name because already they are using the same, I think, worksheet for all these things. This is only for others. It's copy paste, save, Google. You just check this Google sheet and try to execute it. You may try mylist 2. And I suggest you to try mylist 5 also. Print mylist 5. What will happen? Just see. Minus 5, what is the result? Okay, the question is that if I want to enter a decimal value of string using input, okay, that I will show you. That's very easy, not very difficult. Just like int we used for a decimal value, we need to use float, FLOAT. And for string value, you don't need to use anything, simple input, that's it. Okay, this is done, I guess. And did you get any error if you have typed this string mylist 5? Did you get any error? Yes, list index is out of range. That's the error that we will see because list index is from 0 to 4. So anything beyond 4 that will be considered as out of index, out of range. That's gone out. We cannot use that. Okay, this is how we define a list. And in fact, you can define. You can put something extra also like ICT, some quoted variables, some quoted string can be also included. But most of the times that's not very useful because we usually use list, even though it's permitted to use list for representing many different objects inside the same thing. Usually only compatible things make sense. Okay, only compatible things make sense because what is the point in mixing up? There may be some certain situations, that's why it's allowed, but most of the times it's not required. Okay, therefore, okay. Now if you want to see, or if you want to see how do we see the last element straight away? Suppose that we don't know exactly the last element of that. Then for finding the last element, we usually use the command called len, length of the list. Length of the list is number of elements in that list, but number of elements is not starting with 0 definitely. So the number of elements in this list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 elements. Therefore, length of this list is 5. Okay. length of this list is 5, but you cannot print the last element using my list 5. So if you want to print last 11, then you should use length of this list minus 1. That will be the last one. I'm sure. Len, LEN, not length, LEN. My list, sorry. My list equal to, sorry, my list in square bracket. What is the number? Number is length of my list. That is 5 minus 1. That's it. If I print, it will be again 13.2. Okay. So to print the first 11, it's always equal to minus 0. Last element is this. Now we can print in between elements also. We can certainly print in between elements. Print. So suppose that you want element second element onwards or third element onwards. My list. Third element onwards, say till the last element. Okay, third element onwards till the last element. So 0, 1, 2. Okay, 0, 1, 2. Third element onwards till the last one, because the colon is left there exactly like the colon is just left. Therefore, I'm updating the Google Sheet. You can try. And I suggest you to try my list 3 colon 4 and see what happens. My list 3 colon 4. What is the result of this? Updated the Google Sheet once again. So what will be the output? What is the output? Are you getting 3 and 4? No, you are getting only minus 3 colon 4. You will be getting only 24. Only the third element you are getting, because once again in list indices also, when you are trying with this A comma B, start colon stop. Okay, start colon stop, from where to begin and from where to where to go. This is again going to be the same way as that of range, same convention. That is left closed and right open. Okay, left closed and right open. That's the convention. Okay, I'll show you one more. If it is just length of my list, updated the Google Sheet again. Length of my list, you can see that the number is 5. Okay. This is something very useful. These commands are going to be quite useful. And now, if you take if you take any element to any other element, the only thing to remember is that this is not as list slicing. Okay, list slicing. Slicing is the word that is used for this. Slicing means that we are just cutting it into pieces. Now, a list can be actually modified either by appending elements or by removing elements. Suppose that you want to remove the element, the number 10 you want to remove, for example, say, or the first element you want to remove, which is 1. So for that, delete my list. Give the index. And now print my list. Please see the sheet. Okay, is it okay? That delete is there. Delete minus 0 means that by the index you have to delete. So if you are giving the index number, delete my list 0, then the first element will be deleted, minus 1, the second element, according to our counting, will be deleted. And just like that. Now, this is by index. Now, if you want to delete one particular number without remembering or without intending to look at what do you call the index of the number, then we can simply ask for removal. So the technique is slightly different. Remove. Suppose that we want to remove. Remember that now 1 is not there in this list. 1 is already removed. It's a permanent removal. Okay. You cannot retrieve it back during the program. Of course, when you're running the program, again, you can delete this code and recover the values already there. But while you are running the program, if you are removing something, if you are deleting something, some index, you cannot retrieve that back to back. That's not possible. So you can, of course, put it back by certain using some other methods. Now remove, I am removing, say, -5 and print after C. Every time to see the effect of the command, just run it. Use a print command and run it. Okay. Trace back in run code. Now, what is the code that you are trying to? Can you please copy paste the code?
Yes sir, same मैंने copy करके रखा था, but showing this type of error.
No. Please copy paste the code that you are typing, not error.
Okay sir.
In my system, it's running, and I need to see exactly that What the mistake? What's the mistake that you are? Okay. So if you still have some error, please copy paste the code. Or otherwise, from the Google Doc, delete the whatever you have typed and copy paste that code entirely. Only copy paste from where to where. Instead of one output, see, because there are multiple print statements. I guess I think that's what you are asking. See, here you have given multiple prints. See, all the prints are here. All these prints are here. We have not removed any of these prints, so everything will print. If you want only one print, if you are putting only one print statement, then only one output will come. Yeah, somebody has already pointed out. If you want to remove some statements temporarily, then just comment it out by putting a hash before that in the beginning of the line. If you do not want that, but don't delete it. I think it's better not to delete it, because if you delete it later, you may not be able to get it back. Okay. So this is remove. And another important thing to remember is that a list actually can consist of duplicate items. It's perfectly permitted to have duplicate items in a list. So for example, 1, 1, 10, minus 5, 24, 13.2 is quite possible. So if you're putting 1, 1, etc., and then if you're asking to remove 1 from that list, okay, we don't know exactly that whether the first one is removed or second one is removed. That's not easy. There is no direct way to identify that which is it. Dr. Preetham, what is the error that you're getting?
Sir, actually, I tried removing third element, and that's not working. Mylist.remove 3. I mentioned there.
3. You wanted to remove 3?
Yeah.
So mylist remove 3. You have tried.
Yes,
Is 3 there?
But it's not working.
Is 3 there in that list? See, there is a problem. There is a problem with what you are doing now. See, delete mylist 0 means that you are removing by the index, by the item number. Okay. But when you try to remove, you are removing by value. That value must be present there. 3 is not there. That's what.
Okay, got it, sir. Yes.
13.2 you can remove, 24 you can remove, minus 5 you can remove, 10 you can remove, 1 is already removed, you cannot. So delete means that in square bracket the number is given. It is not the number, it is the index. Okay. There is a slight difference. This is by index. So which position number you have to remove? This is by value. Who you want to remove? Which value you want to remove? So removing by index and removing by value, these two are different. Okay. But in both cases, what will happen is removing by index is more correct. More correct in the sense that it's more accurate. You know exactly which one you are going to remove. Removing by value, the problem probably is that there may be the same value repeated in the list, but only one value will be removed from the list, not all the values. But which one value, that also we cannot exactly say. Okay, which one value, that also we cannot say exactly, because it depends on the Python interpreter, and Python interpreter may decide. So what I understand is that depends on Python version also, Python interpreter also. You are using Spider or you are using IDLE. I don't really think that there is a standard convention defined by Python, but most probably the very first occurrence of that number will be removed. That's what I have observed. Okay, but still we cannot be sure. Replacing the value, yes, yeah, we'll go to that. We'll see all the features. So now my list is what? Let me just see. My list is now 10, 24, 13, 2. There are 3 elements, and the first value is 10. So for replacing the first value, we will simply write my list 0. Item-wise assignment. That's what you actually mean. Item-wise assignment. That my list 0 is first item, my list 1 is second item, my list 2 is third item. So you need to just replace my list 0. So my list 0 is equal to assign something else. 20. I'm replacing it with 20. Then print it again. If you do not want multiple outputs to appear, comment it out. All the prints I am coming out so that now it's no longer necessary. I have already showed how to do that. Okay, delete and all these things will be there. So the list became 20, 24, 13, 2. That's what we mean by replacing. Okay, if you want to replace the list entirely, then you can simply again write my list is equal to. Okay, if you want entirely replace everything by 23, 41, 15, minus 34, 1.5. Suppose I have updated the sheet with a new list. Please try this. After this, we will come to appending something to the list and removing all the duplicate values. We'll come to that. Okay, I hope that this much is clear, and this replacing entire list is also done. Now, what was the first thing? Appending. Okay, appending is the only possibility. You cannot prepend. Okay, you cannot prepend the list, prepend any item to the beginning. So if you want to put something to the beginning, then what you can do is you can append. Okay, I will show you that. Before that, I will introduce appending. My list. The structure is this. Dot append. What do you want to append? 1, 1, 2. So appended and printed. Previous prints I am suppressing once again, so that you also may suppress the previous prints and copy paste. That append and print. Appending and printing will show the extra element appended to the end, not to the beginning. Okay, now instead of appending a value to the end, suppose now that you want to append an element to the beginning. Okay, appending an element to the middle, you need to slice the list into 2. Then you need to make the list into 2 lists, 2 sublists. Then you need to append this to the end, or prepend this to the beginning of the second list. That's the only way to insert into the middle. Or insert is also possible, of course. Yeah, insert is possible, definitely. I forgot about that, sorry. That's also possible. Yeah, insert is there. Yeah, therefore, for prepending, we can use insert. That's correct. Sorry, that's a mistake. So append my list insert. At which position? Okay, that my list is wrong. My list insert. You need to specify the position. Suppose that 0th position, we want to insert 200 as the value. Now printing my list again. Please try. Okay, that inserting will, appending will directly take it to the end. You don't have to worry about that, where it's going on. Can we add same number in every element in my list? What is meant by that? Same number every element means?
मतलब सर हम जो माई लिस्ट में 23 41 है ना, उन सभी नंबर्स में एक सेम नंबर ऐड कर सकते हैं, मतलब 5 ऐड करना है हर एक माई लिस्ट के नंबर में.
So what do you mean that you want 5 5 5 5?
Yes, yes sir.
Yeah, my list can contain duplicates. There is no problem. My list equal to 5 5. So 5. This is quite possible. Or 1 2 5. That's quite possible. No problem. Duplications are allowed. Now, about removing duplicates. Okay, about removing duplicates. So for that,
Sir,
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Please.
Sir, the sir was asking about the question to add 5. So I think sir was asking that at line number 28, the elements are 23, 41, 15 and so on. So can 5 be added to all the
Yes,
elements?
yes,
So that 28, 46, 20,
all the elements.
each element can it be added by 5?
So that's a problem. See, when you are
That is question, sir.
adding, I was thinking that appending. You want to add 5 to every element, right?
Yes sir.
For that, you need to do something called list comprehension, I think is the technical word used for that. So you can create a new list using this, my list. Okay, I'll tell you how. My list is equal to, okay, this way. So you want my list new is now my list has changed to whatever list. Okay, I'll copy paste. I will remove that old list. Okay. So I'm going to make the previous list to produce a list consisting of 5 more than all the elements in the previous list, right? That's what you want. If n is present, n plus 5 you require. So that's simple. So n plus 5 for n in my list. That's it. Print. One of the most powerful operations.
Okay, thank you sir.
One of the most powerful operations in Python.
Yes sir, thank you.
Updated the Google. So the structure of the command is whatever new value you want for whatever modification you want to produce on that particular list. Okay, whatever modification you want to produce, that definition you make for what ends you want to do that for n in my list. And in fact, you can create the sliced list also. So if you say n plus 5 for n in my list from 2 to 3, then what will happen is that 2 to 3 element only will be added with 5 and that will be stored as my list name. That is also quite possible. Okay, this is the modification. Now, we were talking about what? Removing some element, right? Removing duplicates completely. There are 2 ways actually. Arithmetic of list. What do you mean by arithmetic of list? You want to add 2 lists or what? Is it your what I said is list comprehension? I think that's a word. Is it another word for that? Arithmetic of list. Okay. Anyway, this way we can perform any kind of operations because, for example, suppose that you want to take one list and my list new is equal to, on the other hand, suppose that n star 5. That's quite possible. 5 times all the elements. That's possible. No problem. You can do whatever you want. Whatever operations you want, you can. You can do one more thing. For example, since we have included some decimal numbers, we cannot use this model, this percentage operator. Otherwise, we can say that take all the even numbers and add 5 to it. That also we can do. So for that, what you have to do is, okay, I'll show that also. My list equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or otherwise I'll take some range. I'll take. That's better instead of typing list range. For creating a list of elements in the range, list range 1 to 25, say, so that 25 up to 24 will be taken care of. So you cannot simply write my list is equal to range. Previously it was not allowed. Now it's not. Previously in Python 2.x this was allowed. Okay. So my list is now numbers from 1 to 24. Commenting out the previous things. Okay, now what I'm going to do is even my list. Suppose that I want to take all the even numbers. Okay, this is equal to n for n in my list. If I think this is a structure, n %2 equal to 0. Let me see whether I have done it correctly or not. Yeah, that's correct. I'll copy paste. The conditions also can be applied. That's what I wanted to say. I'm copying pasting to Google Sheet. It came in the next page.
Sir,
Yeah. Please.
one question on this even my list. We are using range 1 to 25. So as you said, we'll be getting numbers from 1 to 24. And when it will be fixed in an array, one will have the, you can say, position as 0. The numbering in the list starts from 0.
No. It's from what?
No, my list basically is an array.
Sorry?
My list is basically an array.
Yes.
So at line number 8, when we had written 2341, then the 23 had the position of, we can say, my list bracket 0.
Yes, correct.
So now when we are executing line number 41, line number 39, when we are telling range 1, 25, so we will be getting numbers from 1 to 24, as you said. So that 1 will be my list 0 or my list 1.
My list 0. A range will take the numbers from 1 to 24. It will pass these numbers into my list, but my list is a list now. Therefore, it will be numbered from 0 onwards. That's it.
And when we are executing line number 41, that is n. So this n is basically that location, or it is the value which is there in the array?
N in my list. N is a value.
N in my list.
Yeah. So you are taking the first element in my list. You call it as n. It's a variable.
Okay. So basically, this 2 is my list bracket 1.
That's okay. My list bracket 1. See, what happens is my list 0 will be taken initially. Okay. This execution will happen like this. N in my list. So beginning, my list 0 will be considered. Okay.
Okay.
It will be checked if %2 is 0 or not.
Okay.
If %2 is equal to 0, it will be appended to even my list, which is empty now.
Okay. Okay.
Next number will be taken. If it is even number, then only it will be appended. Otherwise, it will be dropped. Next number will be taken, appended. So numbering will be always 0, 1, 2, 3 onwards, but n will be taken as every number. It will be appended only then it will appear in even my list.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so this kind of looping as well as conditionals is also quite possible in Python. So what I want to say is whatever kind of mixing of this looping as well as conditional you can fancy, you can imagine. Most of these things will work in Python exactly as it is. That's why people usually say that Python is that much friendly. So if you want to do that, You may be having an intuition in your mind that this may work, but I don't know whether it will work. You just try it, mostly it will work. That's what Python is. Okay, most of these commands, as you feel like, if you type, mostly it will work. Okay, that's the beauty of Python. Okay, this is about operations on list. I think that's another word. List slicing, appending, all these things are operations on list. I think list comprehension is the word, I think, if I remember correctly. I think list comprehension is the word used for manipulating, applying certain operations on list elements and producing a new list. I think list comprehension is what the word usually used. I don't exactly remember. We can, of course, check in the Google. Okay. Long back, I think I have heard those things. Okay, that's now we will come to removing duplicates. That's what somebody asked, and I forgot about that thing. How I copy pasted this thing? Okay, my event list is already copy pasted. So we have tried, I guess. Okay. Now, if you want to create an empty list, sometimes it may be necessary to create an empty list for certain purposes, because we will keep on adding elements into that list. Okay, I will show you an example using that. But even before that, how to remove duplicates is the duplicates completely based on the values. A duplicate of one value, not duplicates of all the values. If you want to remove duplicates of all the values, there is another method. I will come back to that later. Duplicate, yeah. Sir, please mute your microphones if you're not asking. So suppose that my list is 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, minus 25.
Janan, please.
Rajaram Jadhav. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So there are the 5 is appearing many times. So if you want to remove all these 5s, the only way is to the basic method, without going into any other new concept. The basic method is to use a while loop and check if 5 is present in that loop or not. If 5 is present, keep on removing, again remove. So there is another efficient method using set. That set concept I will introduce after this. So now we will remove it using a while loop. While, what is the value to remove? Value to remove is 5. Suppose I am just using it. Otherwise, we can simply type 5. While 5, which is the value? 5 is the value we want to remove, which in duplicates are the set. So another thing is, even before going into that, we can have the count operator. Count, what do you call it? My list count 5. So my list count 5 should give you the number of times an element is appearing. Print my list count. So if I execute this, we can see that 3 times this is appearing. So one method is to use a for loop and run it 3 times. And another efficient method, without even looking at the count, is that use a while loop, as I told already. While 5 in, just like mathematics in, 5 is a member of. That's what's meant by 5 in. While 5 in my list, I just keep on removing it. My list, remove 5. That's it. And after that, simply print my list once again to see whether we have achieved it or not. I have copy pasted to the Google Sheet so that you can try. Google Doc, you can try. This is one method without using any extra tool, using the same remove method but multiple times, as long as 5 is present. Okay. For keeping 5 one time. So if you want to keep 1 times 5, the only method is to use a for loop. That's it. Count it. So 5 is present. Is there any procedure? I don't exactly know that. Keeping 1 time, there cannot be any procedure, because that is something that you are, for your own purpose, you are imagining about such a possibility. I don't think that this is a standard possibility. So what you're asking is remove just the duplicate. That's what you. Oh, sorry. That's correct. That's correct. So what you meant is correct. What I have done is a mistake, because I removed the entire thing completely. So instead of that, maybe I should remove. I think it's better to just use. Either I need to append it back. Oh, now 5 is completely removed. Okay. What you want is duplicate only. You want to remove. Okay, I understand. So for that, using the same while loop, I can modify it slightly if I want. That's one way. Okay. So while the count of 5 is greater than 1, I can simply delete. That's one technique. While instead of this, I will use while my list dot count 5 is greater than 1. Remove it. But remember, I need to again redefine this my list, because already 5 is removed completely. So there will not be any list now. Now it should work. Okay, this is what duplicate removal. The previous thing was entirely remove, completely removing that. Correct. I copy paste again. Why my list count is greater than 1? That means that more than 1 time it's appearing. Remove the extra appearances and only keep the one. Only keep one of them. But this is actually the duplicate. Okay. Okay, I think we have discussed in detail various properties, various features of list, and in between, if something else is required, we will come back to that when the situation demands. There are in fact many other techniques associated with the list. So whatever keyword we are using after the list name, after putting a dot, that is usually known as a method. So yeah, one more thing probably I should tell before stopping the discussion on this list. That is that sorting the list. Sorting the list is quite possible using the sort command or sorted command. My list. Now this list I will probably put it in a shuffled manner. -10, 1, 20, 31, 15, 24, etc. Something like this. Okay. The list can be sorted like this. This is not actually the list can be sorted. It will only show the list to be sorted. The actual list is not sorted. I think, I don't know whether I'm clear or not. See, if you are printing my list once again after this, the old list will be printed. See this. So here, if you are using the command sorted my list, probably you should, if you want to make use of it, my list new equal to sorted my list. You should do that. Please see the Google Doc. Because the actual value of my list will not be altered if you are using the sorted command. Now, there is another thing. Okay, one more related to the sorted itself. See, you can see that in which order this is sorted. You can see that this is sorted in the increasing order. Now, if you want to sort in the reverse order, you need to specify the reverse parameter. I'm copying and pasting this. Sorted my list. This is reverse order. So extra parameter reverse equal to 2. Even now, we can say that the value of my list is exactly the same as before. No change. -10, 1, 20, etc. Okay, my list value is not actually changed. Only the copy is getting changed. Sorted parameter, sorted function. A function usually will not do anything on the actual value. Okay, if you are asking print A, the value of A will be used. Just like that, sorted my list, value of my list will be used. The sorted list will not be saved into my list. But if you want to apply the sorting to my list itself, there is another method, not function, method. My list sort. Now, if you print my list, the sorted list will be, because it the whatever you are putting after the dot, it directly affects most of the times to the original thing. That's the difference between sorted and sort. Sorted and sort. Okay, if the list is very long and so many repetitions, then for remove duplicate. Okay, I'll tell you. Actually, the very quick remedy is to use set. Otherwise, you can, of course, traverse through for n in my list. Then you go to the next line for n in my list. While my list dot count n is greater than 1. My list remove n. That's one way. I'll show that. Remove multiple duplicates. So for that, for n in mylist. Then now go for F4 because that means that you take each and every value from this mylist and then count while mylist sort. Yes, inside sort bracket you just give reverse is equal to true. Inside sort bracket you give reverse is equal to true. Just like in the case of sorted, last parameter reverse is equal to true. Here instead of inside the bracket of sort there is only one parameter is reverse is equal to true. While mylist count n greater than 1. Mylist remove n. This will remove all the duplicates. Updated the Google Sheet. But remember that now there are 2 indentations required. This will remove all the duplicates. But even this is not necessary. That's what I told. The set concept we will introduce now. If you want to reversely sort, the method is to just put the reverse C. By default, reverse is false. Okay. By default, if you do not specify any reverse parameter, reverse is taken to be equal to false. FALC. So if you specify that reverse is equal to true, it will be reversed. That's it. I think we had a very good set of examples, set of methods, set of operations on the list. And now I will probably move to the functions. After that, I will come back to, after that, I will come back to this set concept and tuple concept and dictionary concept. There are 3 more concepts remaining for us, sets, dictionaries, and tuples. But before that, I think we should introduce functions. If there is any question as far as these things are related, you may please ask. I'm moving to the function related, routine function related concept now. Okay. Now, there are 2 types of functions or routines or procedure, whatever. There are different names used for that. So one is already made available by Python as a part of its what you call standard libraries, and other is that we have to write in our own. Okay, so one important thing is one important library is when mathematics is considered is math library is there, and complex math library is there, and there are several other libraries that's quite useful for us. And we will see how to use libraries first of all, how to import, how to use libraries first of all. Then we will try to define our own functions. Then we will try to see that how to use our own functions in other programs. Okay, these are the things that we are going to discuss now. Okay, let me start first. We will see some math functions available already. After that, we will move to the other thing. So to use math functions, usually the basic command that we have to use is we have to import the math library first. Import math, MATH. That's the first command that we need to use. Now, suppose that we want to, what are the things in math library available? We don't exactly know, but that we can see, of course. But remember that sine function, cos function, standard trigonometric functions, other standard functions like log, E, floor, C, this absolute value, not absolute value. There are several things we can see. We can see all these things. We can list all these things. So import math. Now we are going to print. We are going to make use of one function, value of pi, for example. Say print value of pi is. So math pi is standard constant available in the math library. Math pi, if you ask, okay, let me save. import examples. So value of pi is 3 point something like that. Okay. Let me update the Google Sheet. Yeah. You can try math.d. You can try math.d. And the square root function is there, of course. Oh, sorry. In quotes. I'm using format here. There are two dots. One is full stop for showing to others. The other dot is for the format string dot. Formatting we are going to apply. R math dot sqrt r. I think this must be clear to all of you. Now another print math sin math pi by 2, or even we can print a table of things that like pi by 2, pi by 4, pi by 6, etc. If we make something like this, and it's equal to, yeah. If you do not actually like typing this math pi, one easier way, one efficient way is probably to import pi. Then after using this command, we can simply use pi. So pi by n, I'm going to use pi by 1, pi by 2, pi by 3, pi by 4, up to pi by 10, say for example. Pi by n in range 1 to, I want up to 11, so 1 to say 13. Okay. If I want, I can print it. I have updated the Google Sheet. Okay, now let us try to find the sign of all these things. So for that, sign values, maybe we can prepare another list. That's much more easier. Sign values, instead of printing each and everything, we will again use this list operation on this list, or list comprehension kind of thing. Math. Now instead of using math.sign, we can again import sign also along with this. From math import pi comma sign, or from math import pi, after that as a next line, from math import sign. Then you can simply type sign of A, for example, say, or sine theta. that's technical word that we usually use. Technical Greek, the Greek alphabet. But instead of that, you have to just type 4 theta in angles. Print sine angles. I will print as the message angles in R I have modified some code I wrote on the Google Sheet slightly for importing pi as well as sine together. But this actually doesn't look nice, right? Because sine values are coming, the initial angles are coming separately and sine values are coming separately. But we would have actually preferred that sine as well as sine as well as this angle as well as sine values coming together simultaneously. Okay, that would have been much more neat. Okay, we'll try to see that. Maybe once again we can use list comprehension. Angles, values, you will make another list like this. Theta, sine theta, in ordinary bracket, not in list. And see what is it. Now, what happens is the value of theta. Clear. The value of theta, and I think range 1 to 13 is too much. That's why it's coming. Maybe 1 or 2, 3, 1 to 3 we will see, or 1 to 4. So that 1 to 3 will be there. One more. All these prints I have to suppress. Yeah. We see. We can see that 3.14. 3.14 etc. That's pi. That's for the pi value. We are seeing it as 1.22 etc. But remember, note that at the end there is an e raised to minus 16. E raised to minus 16 means that you are taking the power 10 to the power minus 16. Because in scientific computing, what happens is that this pi is not accurately denoted. So pi value is not exactly known to the computer algebra system. Therefore, what happens is it's approximated to something very close to pi. So the value of sine also will be very close to the actual value. Okay, that's the only thing we can say. Pi by 2 is coming out somewhat more neatly. Now, if you are interested in modifying it further in such a way that you need angle value kind of thing, that also can be actually done. You can do anything that you prefer. See, if you want to use something like angle, I think string is the word to use, or str. So this will print angle. Then Sine. So this is because SIN is a word, it's a string, but sin theta is a numeric value. We cannot club that. So I'm converting that numeric value to a string. That's why I'm putting the word str. Sine value equal to. Update at the Google Sheet. This is, see, I have kept ordinary bracket there before angle. So values enclosed in ordinary bracket separated by comma, just like this, that's known as a tuple, T-U-P-L-E. That kind of data is known as tuple. Difference between list and tuple is very minor. Of course, there is a difference. But first, for most of the flexible purposes, lists are used. Certain rigid purposes, tuples are used. I'll explain that after this program. Now, another function we have already seen that the square root function. But the square root function in math library, the problem is that math library accepts all the values from the real. Sorry, its range is going to be in the real domain. So range it cannot put it to complex numbers. So square root function requires always that the value has to be positive real number. But square root function, we know that if value is a negative number, then the imaginary number will appear. Imaginary number should appear in mathematics. Therefore, this square root function, if we use from the mathematics library, that cannot accept negative values. But if we import it from the complex math library, C math library, then we can use square root function on negative values. For almost all the functions available in the mathematics library is available in the C math library. From C math. Okay, before that, I will show you that the error message print sqrt of -1 or say -4. Sqrt, was it important? No. So math sqrt. So value error, math domain error, because square root is defined to be a function. Square root is defined to be a function consisting of which is capable of handling only positive values. That's it. Instead, from CMath or import CMath and print. So because of the first error, stopping. Because Python is an independent language, whenever the first error happens, the program execution will stop at that point. It will not go below that, beyond that. It's 2j. It's appearing as 2j, not as 2i, but as 2j, because complex number in Python is denoted using the symbol j. Google Sheet is updated. The print math sqrt -4 is commented out. If you want to try that, you can even try that to see the error. But after that, to execute the next 2 lines, you need to comment it out. The print math.sqrt -4. Please try that. Okay, and now to see the type of functions available in angle is in degree. Degrees you need to convert it into radians. Radians already there is a command. I did not clear any of the previous variables. Control L. To clear the right hand side, I used Control L. Variables cannot be cleared like that. Control L is the key I use for clearing the right side. That's it. Okay, now angle is in degree. Yeah, definitely you can do that. But you need to convert into radians because sine function will not accept any degrees. Radians is the function that you need to use. So print math sine is already imported, I guess, from sine of math radians, convert into radians. 90, say. So value is 1.0. So math radians means that convert whatever is given in the bracket to radians. Because otherwise the problem is that if you are giving a value without using the radians command, radians function, it will be by default, it will be taken as a degree. The value will be found, default it will be taken as in radians. The value will be found, but the answer will be unexpected, because you are expecting that sine of 90 to be equal to 1 by 2, but sine of 90 to be equal to 1, but sine is thinking that 90 is actually in radians, 90. So for 90 radians, it's not like that. Okay, 90 radians, it will divide with 3.14 and we make the approximation, and you will get some unexpected value. Okay. This is all about importing libraries, importing library functions from importing, and importing library as a whole. Importing library as a whole means that you can, if you import the library name, import using import space library name, then after that every function in that math should be used using math dot like that. But if you are using a function in many places, then it's better to just use from math. From math import pi comma sine, so that those two functions can be used exactly using that name, pi and sine. Okay, you can use pi and sine. But in such a situation, you can using from math import pi sine, you don't require import math. Can you please mute? Yeah, thank you. So if you are straight away importing two functions, if you don't want to use the math dot, if you are you have decided that I will be using the function names directly, I will be importing, and without using the math dot, I am going to use that. Import math itself is not necessary. Okay, directly simply you can type from math import pi comma sine comma cos comma e or log. Straight away do it. It's quite possible. Import math is necessary only if you are going to use with math dot extension. If you do not want to use that, but then you need to clearly, explicitly take math dot import from math import sine from comma sine, or multiple from math import statements are also possible. Multiple, not just one statement, multiple. I think this import construct it's clear to all of you. If it's clear to all of you, we will go to constructing a function. Okay, how to construct our own function. This sine is a built-in function available in the CMath in the math library as well as CMath library. Cos is another function which is also available. In cos is there, the square root is there, and one more important thing to remember is that in Python complex number is denoted as a plus bj, not a plus ib or a plus bi, a plus bj. And j in itself is not the complex number -1. 1j is the complex number square root of -1. It's 1j, not j, not simply j. You need to type 1j. Okay, and complex number is defined as 1 plus 2j or 3 plus 4j. Okay. So we are going to construct our own function. I told in the beginning that we'll be constructing the factorial function so that using this function, you'll be able to compute. So factorial function, already the built-in factorial function is already there in the math library, but we are going to construct our own factorial function basically because we want to learn how to construct functions. We want to see how to do that. Okay, otherwise this function is not necessary, but some serious functions we may have to construct later. I remember that I have already told you about discussing about sets and sets, tuples, and dictionary. Please remind me after this to go to that instead of going into the program. I will discuss that, and after that, after introducing those concepts, also we will see some more programs. Okay, factorial function. The keyword to define a function is to start with define. After that, give the function name. Remember that the function name should not be an already existing, already imported function name, because otherwise it may create some clash. It may override the existing function definition. So if you know clearly that the function name, if you doubt that the function name can probably exist in Python, and you may have to use it probably, then it's better to use slightly differently. So here anyway, we are not going to import. Python factorial is not actually a standard function name. This is the function available in math library. If you are not going to use math library here, it doesn't matter. Factorial of n. Okay. So now we are going to define the factorial of n. What is the definition of factorial of n? We know that factorial of n is defined to be if it's a positive integer. If n is a positive integer, then we are assuming it to be a non-negative integer at least. Because if you are given a negative number, we need to process it separately. Okay, this function cannot be used. We need to process it separately. We cannot raise an error or anything like that here. So if it's a non-negative integer starting from 0 onwards, then we can find factorial function. If number is 0, what is the factorial? There is no need of computation. It's straight away going to be equal to 0. There is no more computation. If n equal to 0. So we will return. Return, what is the value? What is the value of the factorial of 0? It's 1. Done. Now, else is not actually necessary, because if n is equal to 0, the value will be returned, and the function, the control of the program will go out of this factorial block, def block. So no need to actually write else here. Okay, straight away we can come down. Whenever a return is happening, whenever the return is encountered, it will automatically go into out of the function. So no need to use else. The next statement will not be executed if n is equal to 0 for sure, because of the return statement. So else is not necessary here. So if you prefer, if you feel that after if definitely we must put an else, then you are free to do that. But it's not necessary, is what I'm saying. Otherwise, what? Otherwise, we will give a number 1. See, the idea here is factorial of 5, for example, if you want to find, then f is defined to be equal to 1. We are going to multiply to f 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. So 2, 3, 4, 5 we will multiply. So from where to where we will multiply? If n is equal to 0 or n equal to 1, we can of course return. Okay, n is equal to 0 or n is equal to 1, we can of course return. That also we can include if you want. Both these things no need to compute anything. N is equal to 0 or n is equal to 1, return 1. That's it. Now, otherwise, we are going to keep on multiplying. 2, 3, 4, 4, I in or k, whatever range. From where to where we have to multiply? 2 to n plus 1 we should take, because otherwise the problem is that only up to n minus 1 will be included in the list, the range. So we are going to multiply. Remember that for using range in 4, the list command is not necessary. But if you want to convert, if you want to convert it into a list, then you need to definitely use list in bracket range. But here that is not necessary. With the for loop, that is not necessary. Range can be used exactly like that. So f is equal to f star I. This is the this is the executing line in this whole program. F is equal to f star I means that initially F is 1. So 1 star 2 will be fed back into F. Next, F is now 1 star 2. 1 star 3 will be, so 1 star 2 to that 3 will be multiplied. So 1 star 2 star 3. Keep on doing like that. Once the loop is complete, up to n will be multiplied, return F, the value of it. That's the factorial. See that after typing this return, it's automatically coming down, coming to the left margin. That's the property of this function definition. Now, how do we use that? N is equal to, suppose that we are going to write a program for finding NCR, right? Finding NCR. N equal to, say, 5, R equal to, say, 4, or any other value. It's up to you. 10. We are going to in the same print statement we can, or otherwise factorial we can find like this. Factorial equal to, not factorial, NCR. I'm using the NCR symbol itself here. NCR equal to, it's not necessary to use NCR symbol here. You can use any variable name you like, but this makes that program line more sensible. That's why I'm using the word NCR. Variable name NCR. Factorial n divided by, now you need to be careful. You need to put everything below the denominator in single bracket. N minus R star factorial of R. Now I'm printing. So C R is, this is what I'm going to put inside format, N R N C R. We see if it's running. Okay, function this is C. Oh, sorry, R. Yeah, that's right. I'm copy pasting to Google Docs. Please try. Okay. So are you finding this code to be comfortable? Is there any problem with the code? If there is anything, please let me know. Fine. So this is how we define a function in Python. So use the def and define the function structure. And after that, you just make use of that function name and whatever argument you want to. If you want to define multiple, what do you call it, multiple variable function, the procedure is exactly the same. There is no difference. Procedure is exactly the same. Okay, now probably we can define an average function. Suppose that we are given a list, and we can define, we can try otherwise GCD function itself, because Ajit probably previously pointed out that to define a GCD function, and maybe using the GCD function we can compute the LCM also directly. So we will make use of the GCD function. I will copy paste the GCD function from previous thing. So that some typing can be actually saved. I'm starting a new thing. So GCD function we have defined. Remember that there is already a GCD function available in Python. I think it's in the math library, I guess. GCD 4.2. Okay, GCD is in the math library. So if you are exporting the GCD function from math library, or if you are exporting everything from the math library, then okay, you don't have to you define this GCD function. But what I wanted to mention is that already existing function names, if you are importing it, if you are defining, then you need to be a little bit careful not to import it again, because you don't know which function is going to work. The second important one, secondly defined one important one, will be taking priority over the firstly defined. Okay, so the definition comes first. GCD of, now here are two arguments. Now here there is no print. Okay, there is no print required because it's and also GCD is now stored in A. Okay, that's it. Now we will make use of A equal to 1076, B equal to 2076, and print GCD of, or simply GCD equal to A, B, GCD. Very simple. So this is another function example. So it's in the Google Docs now. Please try. And we can print the LCM also in the same way, because LCM, we know that LCM is equal to product of the numbers divided by GCD will give you the LCM into GCD is the product of numbers. So LCM can be found easily using that. A star B by next try. That's it. So it's a huge number. That's it. Okay. So now to import suppose that we have already defined a function, and suppose that we want to use this function in some other file. So the best thing is to if there are related functions, for example, math functions are all defined in the math library in single file, and then each and everything is what do you call it? Separately we are making use of it. Okay, just like that. If you want to define a function, and reuse it in some other program, do not put any other code inside that file. So just define the function with some extra comments there, and import that particular inconsistent use of tabs means that okay, did I copy paste something wrongly? Okay, let's see. Yeah, sorry, I have corrected the Google Sheet. Please see that. That's because while I copy pasted that b comma a equal to a comma b percentage a needed one extra tab. The tab was missing by copy pasting. Sorry. So what I was saying is to use this GCD function in some other file. So remember that we have saved it under the name function gcd.py. Okay. So if this file is kept in the same directory as that of your other program directory, then you may simply import function gcd. Maybe even function gcd.py. I don't know. Both should work. Then gcd, not in this file, some other file. Okay, I will show that. I have covered out this. I'm saving this. I'm going to make use of this in another file. Import function gcd.py. Print gcd of 100 or yes 100 150. Not gcd of, I don't know this function hyphen gcd. No, what is the function name that we have given previously? gcd. Okay. This function hyphen gcd, will it create some trouble? I don't exactly know. It should is what I guess. In that case, I may have to change the name. By giving this hyphen is a bit of complicated thing. Function gcd dot gcd. Let me see anything. Import on function, give that name. This minus is creating some trouble is what I guess. So maybe I should change it as if it's in some other different folder. What I think is that you may have to give the complete entire path to that, or entire path in the sense that the directory path you may have to specify. That's what I think. I will test that. I have not tested that so far. I will test that. Okay, this I will save as without hyphen. I will save because hyphen is creating some trouble in the variable name or even file name also. It may create some trouble. Is what I think. Function gcd. Now print function gcd. Function gcd is the file name. Okay, I have imported that. Now printing. Yeah, now it's coming 50. Okay. 150. That's 50. Okay. Okay. This is how. In Colab, I don't know how to exactly do that because in Colab, it's the function is already available in the previous cell. So it's by default it should be available for the cells below that. Okay. This is mostly applicable for if you are saving it in a different .py file, then only this is mostly applicable, importing functions. Otherwise, you will be writing your own functions on the top itself, then it's going to be automatically available for all the below cells, all the cells coming below that. So you don't have to use any of these things. Okay, so this is how we define a function. We import a function. We have seen that how to import already existing predefined library functions. Now we have seen our own, we have defined our own thing. And one mistake probably I did was that I have given one minus sign, hyphen in the file name. So if you want to import something, if you want to run it on another Python file, it's better to give the function, the file name just using alphabets, or maybe even numbers are also possible, but not give any hyphen, or underscore is quite possible, I think, not the hyphen. Hyphen is somewhat, but file names can be hyphen, there is no problem. But if you want to use it in another Python thing, the minus is considered to be an operator, right? You cannot use that. That's problem. Okay, now I wanted to tell you about sets is one thing, tuple is another thing, and dictionary is another thing, third thing. That's the most important three things that probably I have in my mind to discuss. Okay, set, function, sets, tuples, and what was the third thing? Dictionary. Okay, set first. Set definition is it's a natural thing. Just use a set symbol. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7. We know that in a set, if you repeat, on Colab math.tx, we have to use 4. Sorry, I don't understand. I can't understand what you mean by that. Math.sqrtx, we have to use for what?
Sir, we are using the square root function by taking the help of math library.
Yeah.
So in Colab also we have to type it in the same format, or there is some different format?
I don't know exactly. Colab square root is already imported to Colab, because in SageMath, if you are using, all these things are imported.
Okay.
Have you tried that? Simply have you tried sqrt of x?
I have not tried it.
No. What I'm asking is, if you are already imported math, then only you will be able to use math.sqrt of x.
Okay.
Import math is necessary before that.
So in Colab, how to import a file that import math like?
Inside this inside the file, right? Inside the file folder. I don't exactly know how to do that. What I was saying is, if you are defining this as a single worksheet from top to bottom, the BCD function is already defined on the top.
Okay.
That's going to be available for the bottom things. That's what I was saying.
Okay. Okay.
Even in defining function, even in SageMath, I have not succeeded so far, is what I wanted to say. Because in SageMath also, I have defined some function. I tried to import into SageMath to some other worksheet. But even though I followed certain guidelines, documentations here and there, I didn't actually succeed so far. I cannot exactly say that. Maybe the faculty coming after me probably will be able to say that in how to do that in SageMath at least. In Python, in Colab, I don't know exactly how to do that. In directly file system, I can say that.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Thank you. So in a set, if we define duplicate values, what will happen is that the duplicate values will be completely filtered out. We know, right? You know that in a set, duplicate values doesn't make much sense. A equal to, simply put A. Set example. Run. Be clear? Run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. No repetitions. Now you have probably an answer to the previous question, that how to remove duplicates from a list. Right? How to remove duplicates from a list. How to do that? Convert a list to a set. Duplicates are removed. Convert that set back to list. That's it. Simple. So my list equal to I'll put some other name. 5 minus 5 -5 to 2. Several duplications are there. Okay, before that, I will copy paste this. I have updated this Google Sheet, Google Doc. Now, how to remove duplicates in one line also we can do that. My list equal to convert this into a set. My list now. My list is a set. Okay, duplicates are removed. Convert back into list. Apply it in this order. Apply it in this order. If you put it the other way, it won't work. Print my list. Again, print my list to see if duplicates are removed or not. Oh, what happened to that? Oh, initially itself I defined it as a set. Sorry, I did not define it as a list. I have updated that my list line. Please use this new line. So duplicate removal easily. Google Sheet link. Okay, sorry.
किसी लैब में आप ज्यादा वहाँ पे ना रहो, ऐसा है। मैं स्पेशली वो लोग वहाँ पे सब
Okay, so that's done. So now set concept is there now. So set concept I will show you one example to use that set concept. So I think devices. Okay, it's not necessary to go into that. Maybe I should introduce the tuple and the dictionary also. I think that this concept of set is quite clear. Now, some more operations I will probably explain. Suppose that I have another set B, or A itself I will redefine, or B and C I put B equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the C equal to 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Suppose now if I print A intersection B, now you can see that what exactly is this. You can guess what is this. A intersection B equal to, that's it. So A intersection B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm copying and pasting it. Okay, so A intersection B, this is the command. Now for the union, naturally you can see that union B. Now a difference also can be taken just like this. A intersection B can be actually written in this way also. A and B is also possible. A and B. This is also possible. For A union B, you may write even A or B. A minus B is simply A minus B. These are some operations available on sets. Okay, let me just run that and see. A union B is this, A union B is this, A intersection B is this, A intersection B is same, A minus B is this. Now, one more is there. Can you tell what is this? Oh, this is A minus B. Symbol I have used. Okay, A minus B, in this case, it turns out to be exactly the same. Now, this is actually, what do you call this? The number of elements, symmetric difference we call. That means elements not in both. In this case, it turned out to be this, elements not in both. Okay, these are the operations possible on sets. Okay, that's it about the operations on sets. And there is nothing more, I think, more interesting about sets. The interesting thing about set, of course, is that for filtering duplicates, as far as general programming is concerned, you can use it for filtering duplicates. Now we can find the maximum of sets in the usual way using print. Maximum of list is also possible. Maximum of A. Maximum of A. This can be done. And sum of elements in the list as well as sum of elements in the set. That's also possible. Sum. Now, arithmetic mean of elements in a set. Sum of A by length of A. I don't know whether it will work. We'll see. Sum of A by length of A. All these things are possible in set as well as the only the basic difference between set and list is that set will not allow duplicates to survive, and set will not allow indexing of accessing elements by indices. You cannot access elements by indices. Okay, so 0th element, first element, second element doesn't make much sense. And appending elements to A dot append. Okay, let me see 200. Appending element is also not allowed here. I think for when appending, you need to convert it into a list first, then you can push the element back to it, then you can convert back into set. And you will be actually seeing something very different, not very different, but something much more powerful set in SageMath when you are dealing with the sets in SageMath. Okay, now.
Maybe Vishnu, you can leave that as a small exercise to write their own user-defined function in order to append in a set.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Oh, this is an exercise. Okay, I will type that exercise. Define a function for appending an element to a set. Hint is to convert set, list, set, and so on. That's it. I have updated the Google Sheet for that. Okay, that's an exercise. Good. So I will go to dictionary. I think just a quick line about dictionary, because you will be using it probably in SageMath also. Union for homework means what? I don't understand. Your union I have already. For appending, you mean? Yes, you can do even that. But what I wanted to use, yeah, that's actually a good question. You can, of course, do that. But what I wanted is to append it. But remember that appending does not make much sense in the case of set, because we don't know whether it's going to the end or beginning. There is no position at all, actually. Anyway, You can try even that, but I suggest you to use the conversion between set and all these things. Now I'm quickly going to dictionary, another data type variable. I'll not take more than 10 to 15 minutes for explaining dictionary as well as tuple also. I wanted to just reduce. After that, I'll Ajit, there's no problem, right? I can extend it by another 10 minutes.
Yeah, maximum 10 minutes.
Fine, do that. Okay, dictionary, the concept of dictionary is that the basic difference between a dictionary and list is that in list is elements are indexed by numerical values, integers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0th element, first element, second element, like that. But in the case of dictionary, we are giving the names to that. We are giving names to the elements that not 0th element or first element, but we are calling it by some name. Named elements, that's the concept of dictionary is. MyDict, for example, the construct is exactly the same as that of a set. So the only thing is that you are giving some labels to it. Probably I will give an example. Ravi, I'm giving some marks or ages of some people, or a mark is better in a class. For 78, mark is its number 78. Then Raju. Colon. I'm using colon to give name, colon, value. Okay. Index name, colon, value. That's the way we are. Raju, 75, and then Rama. Okay, let us give some more priority, more importance to ladies. Hema, or as a salute to our dearest singer, recently passed away, Leda, we will give maybe 100. If it's in music, of course. Maybe I should have given Rafi, Kishore, etc. But the problem now is that if I give Rafi some less mark, Kishore more mark, Leda some high mark, somebody may object. I don't want that. So I hope that Ravi, Raju, and Rama are not singers. Right, Ravi is there as a music director, I know, and Raju and Rama, I don't really think there are any. Okay, now,
there could be some singer in India.
There could be, but it doesn't matter. They will not have as many fans as Leda had, certainly. But Kishore, Muhammad, Kishore, Rafi are not like that. See, huge animosity is there between Kishore fans and Rafi fans, I know. Some people say that Kishore fans will say that he is the greatest singer. Rafi fans will say that no, that's not correct. So if I give marks to Kishore and Rafi, I have to be really careful. I don't want to jump into any controversy. MyDict, just like list. That's it. Marks of Ravi. Sorry. So if I use this, what will happen is okay, I think, yeah, I have mixed up things. Marks of Ravi is 78. This is how we access it. Except this, most of the other things are exactly the same as that of list. Okay, except this. But sorting and all these things, you need to be a little bit careful how to sort and all these things. You need to be a little bit careful about these things. I will actually suggest that you try the sorting and all these things in yourself. Try to see that what are the operations available in list. What type of operations are possible on dict. I think you should probably reverse Ravi 78. No, 78 Ravi is not possible. The first has to be the label of the item. Okay, first has to be the name of the item or label of the item. Second only has to be the value. 78 column Ravi is not allowed. That's not the structure.
You can have the key also as a number. That will work.
Yes, definitely. So if you want 22, if you want to put 100, but I don't know whether if I put
22 as a keyword, I mean, you put word 22.
String, it has to be that.
String 20. No. 22 is a number, but its value is number 22.
This is what you want?
No, other way. You write 22 to T W.
Oh, like that.
No, other one, the value.
Oh, no,
22
no,
is as an index.
the initial one is it's a string 22 or just 22?
No, you can have just 22, number 22,
Okay.
integer 22. And the value
Then one-
is, you write as a string, 22.
Okay.
Correct.
Let me see.
This is allowed.
Yeah, that the basic thing is that whatever usual indices are possible, that's possible. Whatever usual list indices are possible, that's possible. In addition, string indices are also possible, right?
It
Okay.
means that the key could be anything.
It could be anything.
That's
Any,
the advantage with dictionary.
any valid, it can be a number, it can be a string. Both are possible. It can be a number, it can be a string. Both these things are possible. And a dictionary, I think you will be seeing, if you want to construct some good examples using dictionary, we need to write somewhat a bigger program. Maybe while using Sage, you may, not actually, while using Sage, there are several functions like the plotting function, all these things are defined using dictionaries. So definition itself consists of several dictionaries. So to understand dictionary concept only, I introduce this particular thing. Otherwise, for writing our own programs, mostly this dictionary may not be actually necessary, but we can actually make use of efficient use of dictionary if you are cleverly labeling your items. Okay, if you're cleverly labeling your items, you can efficiently use this dictionary. I will introduce this. Yeah.
Can I add?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so especially when you want to do a lot of text analysis, right? For example, Google does a lot of text searching, right? So they use this data type quite frequently. Dictionary is very, very handy data type in Python. And these days, a lot of importance is given to text analysis.
Yeah, Jay, I think in the case of internet, just like compared to Python dictionary, JSON strings are used mainly in many of these things. JSON is JavaScript. I think JavaScript, same kind of dictionary kind of thing they are also providing, but give a key there as a string, and to the right of that, after column, you specify either an array or list or whatever you want. Exactly, JSON kind of thing is equivalent to this. Is equivalent to this this Python related thing. JSON, you will be in the internet, if you are searching, JSON will be appearing at many places, just like this Python dictionary. Okay, I think I do not want to elaborate on this dictionary. Maybe you will be coming to this again. One small thing I will introduce to the end of this 2 minutes I will take. So that the last thing is about this. I have not copy pasted, right? Have I? No, I haven't. Okay, I have copy pasted this. You may try this even now or after some time. Now I will move to one more small thing, the final thing, tuples or tuples, whatever it is. So this is actually much more similar to this list. There is not much difference at all. But the only thing is, instead of enclosing in square bracket, we need to enclose it in ordinary bracket. 1, 2, 3. Accessing is the same. Print my tuple 1, my tuple 0. So if you access it, it will be just 1. So the major difference probably is that you cannot assign item-wise assignment is not possible. Like my tuple 0, you cannot change it to that 0th element. Suppose that you want to change it from 1 to 10. This is not allowed. Sorry. This is not allowed. Okay. So this tuple object can be treated as a list in which individual inside assignment is not at all possible, or it's a type of constant. Right side is a constant. Tuple value is a constant. We cannot change it. But if you want to assign the entire tuple, you can change. My tuple is equal to 4, 5, 6, or just 4, 5. That you can define. But you cannot change in between elements. You cannot change. This is especially useful when MyDict, appending. See, you can try all these things. That's the only thing I would like to say. You try all these things, and if you're trying something in, someone was asking about appending something to the dictionary. You just try what happens. Instead of appending, the problem with appending is that you don't know exactly the index. Okay, of course you can try, and you can otherwise also you can try. But why don't you just try mytuple, then your name in quotes and put some value to that and see if it's working or not. That also you can try. Okay, it's up to you to try. So mytuple individual elements cannot be altered. Okay, tuple is a constant list, constant value list. This is useful, especially if you are dealing with, say, some coordinates of a point. Coordinates of a point, you are not supposed to change the x coordinate or y coordinate like that. Coordinate, entire coordinate, you will change. In such situations, this tuple is useful.
In vectors where they will be using in Sage.
Vectors, especially in vectors, you will be using tuples. So in such situations, this is useful, but you should know that such a thing actually exists. That's why I wanted to introduce this tuples also. Otherwise, they behave exactly the same as a list. There is no basic difference at all. Tuple, dictionary, list, these are very much related with some minor modifications, so that it will make it will become more and more richer, or more and more constrained and rigid. Tuple is more rigid compared to. Okay, and I think I tried to introduce most of the concepts that's required for the Sage Math continuation of this program. And with this, probably I will stop my own words. If there are any questions, I think probably I can give it, please ask. Thank you.
In case you have any questions, quick questions, we are all ready over the time. And so if you have some quick questions, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think already one professor has said that tuples can be used as keys in a dictionary, but list cannot. That is basically because I think for the same reason that tuple cannot be modified. Just like that key also, we are not supposed to modify. Suppose that Ravi is the key. Instead of Ravi I, you cannot change. That's not possible. So because of that problem, yeah, there are several mutable, not mutable. Correct.
Okay, so fine. I think if you have other type of questions, you can send it to me. I will communicate to Dr. Vishnu, or if I can answer, I will answer. So let us give a round of applause to Dr. Vishnu for his very nice introduction to Python. And this is really very nice, because it's a kind of just initiation to what we are going to learn in Sage Math. And it is very nice because he also has used Sage Math. So he exactly knows what are the things that are going to be preliminary to this. So it's a very nice introduction. And of course, Python is actually a kind of ocean. A lot of things, especially in machine learning, artificial intelligence, it is one of the go-to tool. There are many libraries which can be used. So those who are interested can explore. For example, there is one library for dealing with data is called Pandas, and NumPy, SciPy. There are many libraries, hundreds of libraries are there. So thank you very much, Dr. Vishnu.
Thank you, Ajit. Thank you very much. Thanks to all. Thanks to all for your cooperation, participation. Very good questions. Some of these questions were actually, I also thought of certain questions after hearing your questions. Very good audience. Thank you very much to all. Once again, thank you.
Thanks a lot.